Hi there, thanks for joining us for this week's Sweet Spot. Bruce Millington and Steve Palmer from the Racing Post talking all things golf, looking back on yet another imperious victory by Scotty Scheffler, the man who comes to life in spring. More importantly, looking ahead to 3 great tournaments. I know it's Cheltenham this week, but there's still loads of golf action as well, so hopefully Steve's got some decent bets. Before we look at the golf, Steve, how many horses running at Cheltenham this week can you name?
Oh, blimey, that's a tough one, isn't it? I think it might be 0. Yeah, I've really zoned out.
You don't know Constitution Hill?
Oh, Constitution Hill, that rings a bell. That rings a bell. Yeah, it's a good horse. No, I was thinking about the last horse bet I had, last Cheltenham bet I had, I think it was Annie Power. You remember that one?
I can't forget it.
He was going to win by half the track, fell at the last. I've been very wary of the horses since then, but I hope everyone has a nice time. I hope they all come home safely.
That's the main thing, isn't it? I mean, you've had a few golfers have the Annie Power experience, haven't you? Leading by miles and then all going wrong. So before we look ahead, let's look back on last week and the Players' Championship. Scotty Scheffler, if you backed him, you absolutely loved it because he went clear, absolutely imperious on that final day and never really in doubt. For the rest of us, just hoping for a bit of place booty, I suppose. But Scheffler is some player. When he turns it on, he's just unbeatable, Steve, isn't he? What is it that makes him so good? Is it just all-round brilliance?
It's temperament, isn't it? He's got a fantastic temperament on and off the golf course, to be fair. He didn't even putt well last week. This is the thing. He won by half the track, didn't putt well. He's just become a greens in regulation machine again. He had that 10-month victory drought. He had lots of near misses. Remember, he hasn't won since the Masters. It went on for 10 months, but there were a few near misses in that. He was a bit unlucky. He's got that winning habit back now, hasn't he? I don't think he's playing as well as he was this time last year, but he's world number 1 for good reason.
Absolutely, and that much vaunted 3 ball, they put the 3 battling for world number 1 together. Yes. Poor old John Rahm had a sickness bug and didn't even make round 2. Rory didn't make round 3, miscut there. Interesting quote from Rory McIlroy this week from Sawgrass, where he said he's looking forward to just getting back to being a golfer. Do you think the pressure of being this kind of PGA Tour poster boy is getting to him, and all these distractions, feuds with Patrick Reed and the Full Swing documentary? Do you think he just needs to kind of concentrate on what he does best?
Well, last year he said it was inspiring, didn't he? He was keen to sort of show everyone he was, what they were missing on the PGA Tour. And this year it's all, it probably has got a bit too much. There's talk like 7-hour meetings that he's involved with, and I thought the most interesting thing was a lot of the other players were asked if they went to the meeting, and most of the media conferences I watched, they said they didn't go. They sort of said it was too early and they made up some excuse. So it seems like the other players have had enough of it and are not turning up for these meetings, whereas Rory is really the driving force behind it. So yeah, it probably is a factor. It probably is draining him a little bit. He needs a little break now. He's got WGC match play and then the Masters.
If I was worth 60 million quid, I wouldn't be sitting in a 7-hour meeting. I wouldn't even be sitting in a 7-minute meeting. Absolutely no way. Anything else we gleaned from last week? Terrific final round from Tyrrell Hatton, wasn't it? And a few other players kind of enhanced stroke, damaged their reputation. What did you make of it? Give me 3 or 4 other thoughts from Sawgrass.
Well, you obviously know I'm desperate to talk about Min Woo Lee. It was pleasing for me to see Min Woo on that stage. He introducing himself to a lot of the American golf fans, the casual observers. But
you feel like you discovered Min Woo Lee, really, don't you? You're not discovered, but you've got a soft spot for him, haven't you?
We were on him for his first victory many moons ago in that Vic Open. I mean, he's just pure class for me. And winning the Players' Championship on debut would have been an obscene achievement. That's just too much. And he wilted on Sunday, but it was only 2 bad holes really. He had a couple of really bad holes. And early in the week, I don't know whether you knew, he had some health issues on the Monday, and an allergic reaction to something, and his eyes were all puffed up and that. So it was a long week, and it all caught up with him at the end. But he's a 24-year-old with the world at his feet, and I was delighted for Min Woo. Max Homa, another solid effort from Max Homa. He's Mr. Consistent. Did you see him on the 17th hole on Sunday? He was on that charge on Sunday, got to the notorious 17th, wind swirling. He hit what he thought was a great shot, and it bounded on through and went in the water at the back. So it's a really damaging double bogey for us. We got some place money. He tied 6th, but he tied 6th with a lot of others, with 6 others. And then it was a similar story on the other tournament as well. We got some place money, but not a full payout.
Oh well, I did just want to talk before we talk quickly about Kenya, about Tyrrell Hatton. You're talking about the fantastic temperament and the way that Scotty Scheffler just sort of glides across the fairways with a single expression on his face, a sort of semi-quarter grin. And in direct contrast, the player who finished second, Tyrrell Hatton, absolutely. I've now decided he's a joy to watch. He doesn't annoy me anymore. I love all his antics and his history. I just think he's hilarious.
Well, the contrast between the start of his Players' Championship at the end was incredible, because I watched him over his first few holes of the tournament, and he was going in proper psychopath mode. You know, he made a terrible start, lobbing clubs, cursing everything. This is like just at the crack of dawn on a quiet Thursday freeboard. He'd completely lost the plot, and then by the end, you know, he finished with was it 5 birdies in a row? And for once he couldn't wipe the smile off his face. You know, a Tyrrell Hatton smile is so hard to find, but yeah, that was probably the shot of the tournament on the 18th hole there, the second shot.
Oh, incredible, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So good old Tyrrell. Absolutely.
And then over in Kenya, Jorge Campillo, I think he was available at 33-1, so he would have been in the top 10 of the betting. And he breezed to not quite as easy a victory as Scheffler, but it was all pretty academic, wasn't it? Not too much happening on a Sunday. You wouldn't have called it the most exciting Sunday in the history of golf, would you?
No, and I watched the full 5-hour broadcast, and it was like a slow, painful death.
Did you? You watched it all?
I did, because I had high hopes for Jaden Trey Shaper. He closed with 8 consecutive pars, and that put him tied 7th with 3 others. So again, it wasn't a full place payout. It just wasn't hitting his approaches close enough. So that was a tough walk. Yeah, the weekend was potentially going to be fantastic. You know, Colin Morikawa and Jaden Trey Shaper, my 2 number 1 selections, were favourite at one point over and I felt like I was on for the double again. But I think Jaden's got a massive future, but he just wasn't hitting him tight enough on Sunday.
Morikawa was awful, wasn't he, over the weekend?
Well, he topped the approach play stats. It's just putting. You know, he had that encouraging start to the year with the putter, but it's just not happened since. And as I say, his approach play was better than anyone. He just couldn't putt. And he had a triple bogey on Sunday. Missed the places by a shot.
Ugh. There were some really kind of jerky efforts as well, weren't there? There were some that didn't get anywhere near the hole. Just going back to Kenya quickly, 5 hours of that, I'm not sure I would have fancied that. Was there any good wildlife to spice it up? Did they show any nice, bird life or apes or, dangerous creatures prowling the edge of the fairways?
Do you know what? They were concentrating on young humans, because that Kenya event is a real carnival for human beings, and it seems to be one of the sort of most cheerful events going. The fans absolutely love it. And the cameras were focusing on happy children. Nice.
Good, isn't it? That must have cheered you up no end.
It did.
Right, then let's look ahead to this week. We've got 3 tournaments, and we'll start with the best of them. It's the Valspar Championship, the final leg of the Florida Swing. Really good field starts just before noon on Thursday. And here is a spin through the latest betting. As we always say on the show, shop around. You might get better prices. And obviously, there's loads of different place terms, so that's very important. Excuse me. Justin Thomas, currently 10-1 favourite. Jordan Spieth is 12, and then you've got 16-1 Matt Fitzpatrick. Sam Burns, bit of a revival from him last week. He's 18s. Adam Hadwin, 22, along with Justin Rose, who played very well last week, and Keegan Bradley, as well as Tommy Fleetwood. And then it's 30-1 bar. So we're in Florida. What's the venue? What's it like? Give us all the other core details we need.
Okay, it is the Copperhead course, Innisbrook Resort, Palm Harbor, Florida. 7,340 yards, par 71, 4 par 5s, 5 par 3s. 144 runners going to post. Tough tree-lined track. It's hosted since 2000. Finding greens in regulation the key. And the weather forecast is unsettled. I mean, I've got to lay this all out on the table. On the metaphorical table, because I haven't got one in front of me. This is a tough week. This week, because the weather in both of the main tournaments is so unsettled. There's some fierce winds coming in. We'll come to the DP World Tour event. We're in South Africa. Fierce winds in South Africa. Draw bias klaxon is also being sounded in Florida. There's plenty of punters this week. Concentrating on the horses, people love their Cheltenham Festival. If you were going to have ever going to have a week off the golf, this would be it. But you know, there's 3 golf tournaments. There's 1 tournament that won't be affected by the weather, and that is LIV Golf Tucson, which we'll come to later. But yeah. The warnings are out there. Be sensible with your pre-tournament bets until you see the draw.
Absolutely. Now that little pen you showed me before we came on air with a dolphin on it, would that dolphin noise sound that could work as the klaxon in future shows?
Oh, yeah, let's try that. Just the dolphin. That's my favourite bit. Yeah, it's a dolphin.
Can that be the new draw buyer's klaxon?
Okay, yeah, I'll keep that on standby. Yeah.
I mean, don't deny Tommy the chance of playing with it if that's his favourite toy, just because it's needed once for half an hour.
That's right. No, I'll bring it in and out. Yes, yeah, we love dolphins, don't we? Yeah. Let's
very much so. What should people be looking out for with the draw buyers?
Well, for this one, Thursday is flat calm in the Valspar. Friday afternoon is when the strongest winds of the whole week are coming. So anyone out on Friday afternoon is in trouble for me. So late Thursday, early Friday is the draw you want to be on. Saturday, we all get excited watching the golf on a Saturday. There's a thunderstorm threat all day. Temperatures in this tournament range from 11C to 25C. So the weather gods are having too much of a role in the Valspar, unfortunately.
Oh, blimey. Okay, well, we'll press on anyway. How many selections?
We got 5 selections.
Okay. Who's the main fancy?
It's Adam Hadwin at 25-1, who we were on at fancy prices for the Phoenix Open, you might remember, a month ago. He opened with a pair of 66s to take the lead, and then he carded a pair of 71s over the weekend to finish 10th. No disgrace in any of that. It was an elite field. He teed up alongside Scotty Scheffler and John Rahm in the final 3-ball on the Saturday. He was with Jordan Spieth and Tyrrell Hatton on the Sunday. Hadwin did all right. He hung on in there, banked a big check, and then last week he got his hands on another big check. He tied for 13th place in the Players Championship. 4 solid rounds, all of them under par. Such a tidy player these days is Hadwin. His game's in great shape, and Copperhead is the course where he feels more confident than anywhere. His lone PGA Tour victory came on this track in 2017. Sorry, 2017. So have a glug. 2017.
Yeah, go on, have a little glug. I haven't got anything to fill, so we'll.
Must be Cheltenham excitement, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people can't sleep on Cheltenham Eve, can they?
No, they can't.
He was 7th in last year's Valspar. He was 12th in 2018. He's done well at Bay Hill. He's done well at Sawgrass. So he likes playing in Florida. His accuracy will stand him in good stead in any wind he does face this week.
Nice one. Okay, so we've got Adam Hadwin as the main selection. The big danger
is Justin Suh, 35-1 next best. He's shown lately what I've been banging on about for years, namely that this is a brilliant ball striker destined to become a member of the elite. Last week, he moved into the top 100 of the world rankings for the first time. He's not going to slow down from here. Former world #1 amateur, fulfilling his potential. And without putting well, he's been one of the stars of the Florida swing. He was 5th in the Honda Classic, 24th at Bay Hill, 6th last week in the Players Championship. He won the Corn Ferry Tour Championship last year. He won't be going back to the Corn Ferry Tour.
Okay. Oh, you're getting very husky there.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Right.
Right to bone.
It's annoying, that, isn't it? Anyway, right then, give your throat a good clear, and then we'll have the 3rd selection.
Oh, my throat will be up for this one because it's Brandon Wu, another sweet spot regular. He's a few months older than Justin Suh. I think they'll both have bulging mantelpieces by the end of their careers. Wu's settled nicely on the PGA Tour now. He was 2nd in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am last month. And in his last 2 starts, he's finished 14th in the Honda Classic and 19th in the Players Championship. He was 33rd on his Valspar debut last year. Like Sir, he's won the Corn Ferry Tour Championship. I think he's good enough to win in the higher grade too.
Lovely stuff. Press on with your 4th tip.
2 more. Pearson Coody. 100-1, a rising star. He's only 23, former world #1 amateur. He's already won twice on the Corn Ferry Tour. He apparently turned down fortunes to join LIV Golf. LIV Golf Chiefs knew that this would be a quality signing, but Coody wants to win PGA Tour titles, and I think he will. He's played in 2 PGA Tour events this year. He opened with a 66 in the Honda Classic, faded away. Then last time out, he finished 14th in the Arnold Palmer Invitational. I thought it was very interesting what he said. He said he didn't feel any nerves. I think this fella is made for the big stage, and he comes from good stock. His grandfather, Charles Coody, was the Masters champion in 1971. His granddad was the Masters champion in 1971. His dad, Kyle Coody, played on the Corn Ferry Tour. So yeah, maybe Pearson Coody is going to be the best Coody of the lot. His swing is awesome. I'm happy to chance him at 100 to 1.
Nice one. Excellent. And we got one more.
300 to 1. Harrison Endicott. Yeah, an insulting price. I mean, maybe the bookies think he had some sort of injury issue, which is why he pulled out of Puerto Rico, but he didn't. He just wanted to skip Puerto Rico because he knew he was qualified for Sawgrass. He missed the cut by a shot at Sawgrass last week. It was his course debut, elite field, no disgrace in that. Lest we forget how good Endicott looked at PGA National last month. He was peppering pins in the Honda Classic, finished 26th. He won on the Corn Ferry Tour last year. He settled nicely on the PGA Tour this year. 300 to 1's a joke price.
Right, I'm going to give you a nice chance now. You can mute your microphone and clear your throat because I'm going to talk for a bit. So just to give you a little bit of a chance. And I'm going to say this: if you enjoy the sweet spot, which we hope you do, then do please. Oh God, I've forgotten it. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. That's it. We always love to get your comments. So I've got that out of the way. Hopefully, Steve's got.
Trying to gargle there.
Yeah.
Trying to gargle.
Right. Okay. You feeling better now? Do you think?
Yeah. Let's go for it. I'll just battle through. I don't know what's going on here. Let's just go for it. Yeah. Cheltenham fever.
Do we need to talk about anyone else? I mean, great buddies, Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth are at the top of the market, but Thomas, another atrocious last week, wasn't it? We talk about Morikawa can't putt. I mean, yeah, Thomas's putter is all over the place, isn't it?
It is. And at 10 to 1, do you want to be playing someone like who can't putt at the moment? No, you don't. Jordan Spieth's a very interesting one. 12 to 1. I've got no interest in now. I don't think he's fully fit. He wasn't moving well in the final round of the Arnold Palmer.
No, did his back go or something?
He was clutching his lower back. Finished the tournament really poorly, and then last week, his final hole of round 2, he hit this horrific slice drive that was heading for the water hazard. He hit a spectator on the knee. If he'd missed the spectator, he would have gone in the water. He almost certainly would have missed the cut. But they asked him about that shot and afterwards, and he said he felt a pain coming up for his leg on the swing. His foot got stuck. He felt pain coming up his leg. So I think he's got niggles, lower back, legs. And he's not talking about it really because he wants to go to Augusta next month as a feared man. He's Mr. Augusta. But I think there's issues with Spieth that he's not letting on.
I think Mr. Augusta is a bit strong, isn't it?
He's got a great record at Augusta. He would consider himself Mr. Augusta. I don't like either of those two market leaders. Yeah.
Let's move on to the SDC Championship on the DP World Tour. And it's a very familiar look to the lineup and the market leaders. 20 to 1 the field, and that's Jordan Smith and Jaden Shaper. Antoine Rosner's 22, George Kotzier is 25, Adrian Ottagay 28, Adrian Aus 28, Julian Brun 28, Loughton 30, Lombard 30, Withnall 30, Valimaki 33. Same old faces. Where's the course?
I've worked out what my issue here is now because it's these joss sticks that the wife likes, these joss sticks, and that glass of water there smells of smoke. It's like I'm choking myself with the joss stick smoke. So that's what happened, and I do apologise for that. But I've learnt my lesson, and therefore going forward, this won't happen again. So, what was the question?
I was just going to ask you about can you give us the course details for the SDC Championship?
A jolly well shout. It's an interesting one. The St. Francis Links, Eastern Cape, South Africa, 7,192 yards, par 72, 4 par 5s, 156 runners going to post, only 4 members of the world's top 100. I would describe this as a semi-links. It's a semi-links. We've got some trees and some water hazards, but it's a very linksy course. We've got bundles of course form to go through. A Vodacom Origins of Golf event has been staged here 9 times. The South African PGA Championship was staged here in 2021 and last year, and there's loads of amateur events too. So I'm excited about it. Apart from the weather forecast, which is, as I say, crazy winds Thursday. Could be unplayable. Could be unplayable. We don't know. That's the problem, isn't it?
So we could have a truncated tournament then, could we?
Oh, I don't think we get a trunk, but there might be a few elephants floating around. But I think with the winds, you don't know whether they're going to be playing on Thursday. It might be unplayable. So you can't even judge it when you get the tee times, what to do. And it's going to be windy. Yeah, it's going to be windy all week. Yeah, I think luck of the draw could be crucial in this. So just go for big prices. I've got 6 big prices.
6, blimey. Okay, right then, fire away.
The first one is Valco Knee Neighbor. There's a lot of sweet spot regulars getting an airing this week. 66 to 1 as we live and breathe. Generally it'd be 50 to 1 he'll settle at. I think that's a fair price from an incredible ball striker. Every par 5 here is a par 4 for Knee Neighbor. At the moment, he's stuck on the Sunshine Tour. It's frustrating for us all. No need to panic. He's only 22. He'll know this is a golden opportunity to get to the DP World Tour. He was runner-up in the 2020 Joburg Open. He's had 7 top 10s on the DP World Tour. He's won on the Sunshine Tour. I think this is a massive talent, ready for takeoff. And he can approach this venue with confidence because he played well there as an amateur. In 2015, he finished 6th in an amateur event at St. Francis Links. And in 2017, he won a title there. It was the Nomads Coastal event. It was only a 2-round event, but a win's a win. He was 25th in Kenya on Sunday. Definitely worth a gamble.
Okay, Valco Knee Neighbor is the headline tip. 5 more, so lead on with the main danger.
Casey Jarvis, another sweet spot regular, 50 to 1. All my tips are South Africans who have played this track before. You got winds raging this week. You don't want to be teeing up without course knowledge. You need to know where to miss these greens. 6 of the last 9 DP World Tour events in South Africa have been won by a South African. I think that stat will be 7 from 10 on Sunday. Jarvis excelled at St. Francis as an amateur. He was 12th in the 2017 event there. He was 5th in 2018. There were 2 amateur events there in 2019. He finished 13th and 2nd. And on his professional debut there last year in the South African PGA Championship, he finished 2nd. So he loves this course. He's won everything there is to win in South African amateur golf. He turns 20 in July, world at his feet. He's got Sunshine Tour form figures this year of 23, 9, 2, 20. He was 25th alongside Knee Neighbor in Kenya on Sunday.
What price is he again?
50 to 1.
Nice. Excellent. Right. Well, I should be able to guess some of these then. Give me the sort of price bracket of the next tip.
Well, they were the shortest price tips. We've got those two. Yeah. So we're going big. Go big.
Oh, people don't care whether I can guess your tip. They just want to know what the tip is. So who's the third one?
Yeah, I would go 100 to 1. You get any of these next 4.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't bother then.
So the next one is Dylan Mostert. Dylan Mostert, who is 100 to 1, a 24-year-old South African in the form of his life, made his Sunshine Tour breakthrough in June. He was 4th in the Mauritius Open, which is a DP World Tour event just before Christmas. And then last month, he won on the Challenge Tour, the Nelson Mandela Bay Championship. He was 9th at St. Francis Links in last year's South African PGA. So, yeah, Mostert is a must for the staking plan.
You're hoping Mostert is mustard, aren't you?
I jolly well am. And then the 4th selection is JJ Senecal.
You've never tipped him before. He's not a sweet spot regular, is he?
No, he's not a sweet spot regular. No. JJ Senecal is a 66 to 1 chance. He's a 35-year-old journeyman. He's struck fantastic form. He got 2 Sunshine Tour wins early in his career. His Sunshine Tour breakthrough came at St. Francis Links in 2013. Ooh. He's got 2 other top 20s on the track. And last month he won on the Challenge Tour, the SDC Open, in South Africa. So his career has taken off. His form figures from his last 4 tournaments are 14, 6, 1, 3.
All right, okay. Excellent.
And then we got 2 more enormous prices. I don't know when producer Will's going to get this out. My online preview will probably be out before this, but there's some ridiculously big prices about this fella because he's got huge potential. Urav Premlal. 400 to 1 as we speak now. Urav Premlal at 400 to 1. He was the best amateur in South Africa before turning pro in January, the end of January this year. He's only 19. He looks ready to contend in this grade for me in his homeland. He made the cut in the 2018 South African Open when he was just 15. This is a prodigy. In 2019, he was the youngest ever winner on the Big Easy Tour. That's the grade below the Sunshine Tour. Last month, he was 9th in the Dimension Data Pro-Am. That was just his 2nd start as a professional. And last week in the MediClinic Invitational, he was 5th. He was 5th in that as a Sunshine Tour event. So he's got to be worth a tickle at 400s.
The level of research here this week, Steve, is phenomenal. I'm take my hat off to you. Very good.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, I like these South African events. Yeah,
just one to go.
One to go. And it's the wonderfully named Ruan Korb. Ruan is his first name. Korb is his surname. Ruan Korb, 300 to 1. a 29-year-old South African. He's won twice on the Sunshine Tour. The most recent of those 2 wins came at St. Francis Links in last year's Vodacom Origins event. He closed with a 63 in that. Last month, finished 10th in the SDC Open, and he was 8th in the Mediclinic Invitational last week. So, yeah, we got 6 big prizes for an event where the wind is going to play a big role.
Fantastic. That's good. And talking of one to go before the haircut, isn't it? It's tomorrow, isn't it?
The haircut is tomorrow. Yeah, thank goodness. I've
got a good old chop.
Got aching shoulders now. The weight I'm carrying on the top.
Birds nesting in it and all sorts. Yeah.
I might just tell him to get it all off.
Just
take the whole lot off.
Yeah, a number 2 all over. How about that?
Why not?
It'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I get a bit jealous of those fellas who just don't have to worry about styling their hair.
No, it's good, isn't it? Why, you do worry about it, do you?
Well, I just
worry about that much. Why don't you?
Yeah. No, being bold is an underrated attribute. But Jaden Trey Shaper, we must mention him. He's been backed into favouritism for this tournament, and obviously he's got a great chance. His form figures are 5, 6, 10. So it's just price. He's getting backed into 20 to 1, and with these wins, I just wanted bigger prices.
Right then, the third tournament this week, the Livers are back out, and they're in Arizona for LIV Golf Tucson. It's the usual format, 3 rounds starting on Friday, and a very open affair. I mean, the one thing you would say about LIV is that there's lots of big names, and it's very competitive. So, without further ado, here's the latest prices. Cameron Smith 9 to 1, Dustin Johnson 11 to 1, along with Joaquim Neiman 14, Paul Casey and Abraham Answer. Taylor Gooch is 16, Pat Reed is 20, Charles Howell the third after his runaway win in the last LIV tournament, he's 20. So there's Mito Pereira, and it's 22 bar. So we're in Tucson. What's the venue, Steve?
It's the South Course Gallery Golf Club, Dove Mountain, Marana, Arizona. A bit of a mouthful.
You got the zip code as well?
It's funny because it's near Tucson. A lot of these LIV events, they sort of give them good names, snazzy names, but they're actually quite a long way from where
it's like those sort of Ryanair airports where they say, we're flying you to Milan, and then you get there and you've got like a 120-mile train ride to actually get to Milan. But
absolutely, yeah. Even the first one they called LIV Golf London, didn't they? And it was in outer Hertfordshire. Anyway, I won't moan about that. Okay. 7,469 yards, par 71, 3 par 5s, 48 runners, no cut, shotgun start, 3 rounds, $4 million to the winner. This course, you might remember this course.
I do remember one being called Dove Mountain, but that's about as much as you're going to get out of my memory.
Hosted the WGC match play in 2007 and 2008. Tiger Woods is a course winner. He won the first one of them. Henrik Stenson won the second one of them. Stenson, obviously a liver. He'll be a popular choice this week. We got great weather for this. I've been moaning about the weather in South Africa. Been moaning about the weather in Florida. Great weather for this. Sunny and calm. Big hitters will be licking their lips. Desert layout, plenty of room. As a punter, this is the tournament I like the most this week.
Oh, and to follow the action, you have to get the LIV app, don't you?
LIV Golf Plus, yes, LIV Golf Plus.
Okay, right, excellent. How many tips have you got for this one, Steve?
2.
Okay, who do you fancy the most of those?
Paul Casey, 14 to 1. Paul Casey is the.
You don't often tip Paul Casey, do you?
No. I like him for this. I think it's the golf bet of the week. He's loving the LIV life. He was on the winning team in the first event, the Mayakoba event. He couldn't wipe the smile off his face. His teammate Charles Howell had just gone birdie crazy.
What team is it? What are they called? The
Crushers. The Crushers won by half the track. Casey got more than $1 million for finishing 4th in the individual event. Then he got another $750,000 for being on the winning team. So
Blimey, he owes Charles Howell a drink, doesn't
he? Yeah. So he got $1.8 million in total for carding rounds of 65, 71, and 70. It's not a bad life if you can get it. No, that's 3 LIV events in a row in which he's finished in the top 7. He was 5th in the Saudi International a month ago on the Asian Tour. This is a former world number 3, lest we forget. He seems to be fit again. He had some injury issues. He seems to be fit again. He's firing again. And this venue is a great one for him. He was a quarter-finalist in the 2007 match play there. He won a couple of matches in 2008 as well. Most importantly, Arizona has been his home for about 25 years. He went to Arizona State University. He stayed there ever since. This is a home game. He's bound to have been practicing there in the last fortnight. You know, a lot of players will just come in for the event. He would have been there. I'm sure he would have been there over the last fortnight. He's probably the most prepared player in this field. And in a 3-round sprint, I think that counts for plenty. He loves desert golf, 2-time Abu Dhabi champion. He won the Dubai Desert Classic as well. So, yeah, I think Casey's going to ping the lids and leave them all for dead.
Oh, you make a very good case for Paul Casey. And you've only got one other tip. Who's that?
It's Peter Uihlein. 40-1 Peter Uihlein. Yeah, great underachiever. Former world #1 amateur. He won on the DP World Tour in 2013. He won on the Corn Ferry Tour in 2017. He won on the Corn Ferry Tour in 2021. But he's still not at a PGA Tour win. His bank manager won't care a jot about that now, because he's cleaning up on the LIV circuit. Uihlein has finished second 3 times on the LIV Tour, in Chicago, Jeddah, and last time out in the Mayakoba. It's been really impressive, so I think he's going to contend again this week. His last victory came in the Nevada desert on the Sun Mountain course in the Corn Ferry Tour. Maybe his first LIV victory will come in the Arizona desert at Dove Mountain.
Okay. I wonder how long we're going to be sort of making out we have bank managers. I haven't had a bank manager since I was about 19, I don't think. I wouldn't know a single person who works at the bank, but
No,
I get hectored every so often by them to sort of, they try and sell me products and stuff. But the old bank manager, that doesn't happen anymore, does it?
Do you ever walk into a bank? You sometimes have one in a good bank. You have someone lurking in the foyer to sort of help you.
Well, what happens is these days you go to the bank to, like, my mum still gives me a check for my birthday. It's very sweet,
Nice.
And I go, and I there's one NatWest near me, miles away. So I go to that and I go to pay it in. I kind of go to just give it to the lady behind the counter, but she directs me to a machine where I've got to kind of, so it's a little bit irksome. Yeah, you want someone to just be there to, the whole point of a bank is that human helps you, but I don't give human help these days, do you, for anything, isn't it? You can't speak. If you've got an issue with a company, you want to speak to a human, don't you? But
I'll tell you what, this is very, very close to home, all this, because I've had a lot of trips to the bank lately, due to an issue that happened last Tuesday, a week ago. Yeah, I must give a shout out, actually. I must give a shout out to Chippenham Town fans, because do you remember I was going to Weymouth versus Chippenham Town last Tuesday? I ended up losing my wallet.
Oh, no.
I lost my wallet in the second half. The game was going terribly, and I realised I lost my wallet. I was in a panic stricken, obviously. Oh. Ringing up, spoke to the stewards, and they took my number, and I thought it was about 50-1 I was ever going to see the wallet again. Cancelled car. I got a phone call late that night from the chief steward at the ground. An away fan had handed it in. The Chippenham Town fans have got great integrity. I mean, you wouldn't
have got that from the Dorchester mob or Yeovil, would you?
Well, that's it. Yeah. If it had been Yeovil in town, they would have. They probably would have used the contactless and take. Yeah, could have had 100 quid's worth of contactless drinks there.
Did you find out the name of the Good Samaritan from Chippenham?
I'm going to go tonight and try and find out more details. But yeah, if there's any Chippenham Town fans,
what, you're going to go to Chippenham and just wander around?
Weymouth are playing another home game tonight, which hopefully will go a little bit better. We're home to Hungerford Town, massive 6-pointer. We have to beat Hungerford Town, but I'm going to speak to the steward, see if he can find out the Chippenham Town fan. But if any Chippenham Town fans watching, find out the hero that found Steve Palmer's wallet.
Oh, that's so nice. I love to hear that. But presumably you had to go to the bank to uncancel everything, yeah?
I had to go to the bank to all sorts, but there's lots of other things in the world, sentimental photos and, your driving license. You don't realise how much is in your wallet until you lose it. I don't have a wallet.
I don't rate a wallet. For the very simple reason that I don't want to lose it. I mean, I barely even carry cash. I don't use my card. Everything's done on my phone. I don't need a wallet. I don't know what you'd have one for.
Oh, right. Not even your rubber johnnies. I can't go in.
There you go. Leave that in.
Okay.
Right, blimey, you threw that one at me. Let's solemnly reiterate this week.
Solemnly reiterate. Where are we?
You're not allowed to do accents because one of the commenters criticised accents. So you've just got to be solemn and clear.
Well, we've let the naysayers have too much of it. I get emails from readers who say they love the voice. I've had emails from Steve Blight, one of my best emailers. He's a fantastic fella. He lost his mum the other day. He's in the grieving process, and he says the highlight of his week is when I do the voices. So it's a difficult balance.
It's difficult, isn't it? Yeah, we want to cheer Steve up then, don't we? So,
We do.
right, how many? I can't even remember how many you've got for America. It's 5, isn't it?
5 in the Valspar.
Right, Valspar Championship. They are
Adam Hadwin, Justin Suh, Brandon Wu, Pearson Coody, and Harrison Endicott.
Yeah, I like that. I like nice and straight. 6 in the, there's a combination of letters, SDC Championship, is it?
Correctamundo. Vilko Nienaber, Casey Jarvis, JJ Senecal, Dylan Mostert, Urav Premlal, and Ruan Korb.
And 2 in LIV Golf Tucson.
Paul Casey, Peter Uline.
Well done. I like that. I thought that was very good, very clear. People could catch that. That's good. Okay, brilliant stuff. So, Steve, you've got Weymouth v Hungerford tonight and the haircut tomorrow. Anything else exciting filling your life before we next convene?
No, it's just such a big game tonight. Yeah, if Weymouth are going to survive in this league, they need to beat Hungerford. Their odds against that, you know, if anyone fancies a football bet, I can't see us failing again. But that might be, maybe that's heart ruling head. But you know, we played well at Braintree on Saturday, and I expect us to beat Hungerford tonight. And I'll keep a firm grip on my wallet throughout.
Well, good luck with that. Excellent. Good luck with all your golf bets. Good luck with your Cheltenham bets. Don't forget, there's loads of fantastic shows on the Racing Post YouTube channel if you fancy a Cheltenham wager. Many thanks to producer Will and to Kieran as well for getting this week's show out. Most of all, though, thank you very much for watching The Sweet Spot. Back next week, 3 more tournaments.